Now let's talk about the principles, practices of Kanban. Are you struggling with managing work processes and teams in your organization? Are you looking for a practical, efficient, and effective way to manage workflow? If that's you, then Kanban as a methodology can be a great solution for you. And Kanban is a popular methodology that originated from the Toyota factories. And it's a visual management system that helps teams to visualize, organize, and optimize workflow. And in this lesson, we will explore the principles, practices, and metrics of Kanban methodology and how it can help you improve your work processes and your team's performance. So let's start with the principles of Kanban methodology. There are really 4 core principles of Kanban. Firstly, start with what you do now. Kanban methodology does not require you to make any significant changes to your existing process. Not about trying to fix everything. You start with where you are now, your current workflow, your current issue, your current process. You gradually evolve it and improve it using Kanban principles. Next, you must visualize the workflow. Kanban methodology is very visual. There are Kanban cards, and these are used to represent work items and their status. And the visualization helps teams to understand the flow of work, helps them to identify bottlenecks, and to prioritize tasks. Then, as part of Kanban, you need to limit work in progress. Kanban methodology limits the number of work items that are in progress at the same time in order to avoid overburdening the team with too much going on and in a way that will ensure the smooth flow and completion of work. And then Kanban encourages continuous improvement by regularly reviewing the workflow, identifying problems, and implementing solutions. And now let's move on to the practices of Kanban methodology. There are really 6 core practices of Kanban. First of all, you visualize the workflow. As mentioned earlier, visualizing the workflow is a fundamental practice of Kanban. You can use a Kanban board, possibly, which is a visual representation of the workflow to track work items and their status. Then limiting work in progress as another core practice of Kanban helps teams to focus on work items in a limited scope rather than continually starting new ones, which can lead to a backlog of a lot of unfinished work. And then thirdly, you need to manage flow. Managing flow means ensuring that work items move smoothly through the workflow. And you can use Kanban metrics such as cycle time and lead time as ways to measure the flow of work and identify any bottlenecks. And then you need to make process policies explicit. Making process policies explicit means defining the rules and the guidelines for each stage of the workflow. And this helps to ensure consistency and clarity in the work process. And then you need to implement feedback loops. Implementing feedback loops means using regular reviews and retrospectives in order to identify problems and implement solutions. And then you need to improve collaboratively and evolve experimentally. If you're improving collaboratively and evolving experimentally, this means evolving the team in the continuous improvement process and using the team and their expertise to test and experiment with new ideas and solutions. And lastly, let's talk about the metrics of Kanban methodology. Kanban metrics are used to measure the performance and the effectiveness of the workflow. And we'll quickly discuss some key metrics. First of all, we have lead time. Lead time measures the time it takes for a work item to move from start to finish. Cycle time. Cycle time measures the time it takes for a work item to move through each stage of the workflow. Then you have throughput. Throughput measures the number of work items completed per unit of time. And then you have work in progress. As we've mentioned, work in progress measures the number of work items currently in progress. So, in summary, KANBAN methodology, which we've run through fairly quickly, is a visual management system that helps teams to visualize, organize, and then optimize workflow.